All right, Shalom, Yasharala.
Shalom.
It's Great Millstone, New Orleans, coming back at y'all with another live camp. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. So today we're going to go into, a phrase that a brother mentioned a couple weeks ago. It's just been on my spirit, and it's a phrase the brother used called immortal sovereigns. All right, that's two words that you seldom hear together, but that's actually what the Lord's coming back to create: 144,000 immortal sovereigns. All right, we're going to get that word sovereign. We're going to go into immortality. And this is really something that is far beyond the imagination of a nigga. It's far beyond, obviously what the heathen hope for, according to Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. All right, but it's something that the elect are firmly rooted in. We firmly believe that the Lord's coming back to make us perfect, to make us immortal, and to make us sovereigns, particularly over the heathen. All right, so we're gonna start with immortality. Give me that Sirach 19.
Come on, this is Sirach 19 and 18. The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him, and wisdom obtained his love.
Right. And fear of the Lord, as me and the other brother were going into, was created in the womb. All right. Before you're born, the Lord puts his fear on you so that you don't do certain things, so that you don't go too far. All right. Before we're called into this marvelous light, Jake is in the world. Jake is surrounded by all manner of wickedness. We're in the most wicked kingdom that's ever existed. So the Lord actually kept us from going too far to destroy ourselves. And fear of the Lord is what separates the 1/3 from the 2/3. All right. And it was created in the womb. Now, read that again.
The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him, and wisdom obtained his love.
Wisdom obtained his love. All right. And wisdom itself flows through all things, but only the elect understands where wisdom comes from. All right. The name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai and its purpose. But this is the point right here.
The fear of the Lord, 19 Salaki. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
The fruit of the tree of immortality. So repentance, coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments, makes you perfect. And we know that sin is the transgression of the law. And when you commit sin, the wages of sin is death. So when the Lord comes back and we're fully in those bodies that can't sin, what does that mean? We're going to be immortal. All right. Immortality is coming to the elect. You get Wisdom of Solomon 2, and I think it's 23.
This Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 23. For our power created man to be immortal, and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through the envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold it, whole of his side, do find it.
Right. We're made in the image of the heavenly, and the Most High created us to be immortal. Now, we had to fall so that we could rise again in these last days and become immortals, but we're actually created to not die. All right. If the Most High is immortal, if the Most High can't die, why would he make his sons mortal? Why would he make them flawed? Why would he make them in a position where, if you can, you don't have to get it, in Psalms 82, it says, you're gods, but you shall die like men. Why would gods die like men? So we could learn good from evil. And now that we've learned good from evil, we're in a state where we're ready to come back and be immortal sovereigns on the earth.
I got one for you. I got a badass one. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and 22, and I'm gonna merge into to the 3rd chapter. All of it good. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 verse 22. It says, as for the mysteries of the Most High, they know them not, which is immortality is another mystery that the world and the people of the world, including 2/3, they don't know.
Yeah.
All right. It says, neither hope they for the wages of righteousness, nor what the hell going on, man? All right. Now discern a reward for the blameless souls. The Most High created man to be immortal, and made him to be an image of his own eternity. All right. It says, nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death unto the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. And I'm going into the 3rd. It says, but the souls of the righteous are in the hands of the Most High, and there shall no torment touch them. Right? In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken from misery.
It says they seem to die. All right, because these people actually look at us as just niggas. We're just niggas reading Bibles. All right, these heathen look at us as we're crazy, but we're actually immortals. All right, our spirit never dies. All right, we in the ancient world, we were warning Jake. Jake was going off. You know, we perish, we come back. We go to sleep. We don't actually perish. You got more on that?
Oh yeah. It says, for though they be punished in the sight of men, yet their hope is full of immortality.
Their hope is full of immortality.
Right? And have been a little chastened, they shall be greatly rewarded. All right? For the Most High proved them and found them worthy for himself.
Found him worthy for himself. So if when you go back a chapter, it says man was made to be immortal, and then right here it says we're going to be greatly rewarded. If we're made in the image of the Father to be eternal, and we're about to be rewarded by an eternal power, what does that mean? We get an immortality. We're going to be immortal sovereigns on the earth. And Jake can't wrap their head around it. Jake can't even imagine being 80, man. Jake be like, I made 22. I'm an OG. Jake be celebrating because they make a certain milestone. You know, it tells you in the scriptures that what's 1,000 years? That's like a teardrop in the ocean of eternity.
It's 1,000 years to a God, man.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're not gonna have age. We ain't gonna age no more, man. We ain't gonna have no age. We're gonna get that symbol. You know that symbol they get, the infinity symbol. They go like this. It loops. So we just gonna get that, man. Yeah. All right. Not even worry about it. Hey, we ain't even ask how old you is. How old you is? It don't matter.
Yeah, we're gonna be eternally in our youth too.
Yeah.
We're gonna stand our strength. That's it.
Yeah.
You know.
We're gonna be angelic, man. We're gonna eat the right things. All right. We're gonna drink the right things. We're gonna pop our women. All right. I'm gonna say that again. We're gonna pop our women. Plural. All right. We're gonna have kids, man. We're gonna become one man. We're gonna have a nation of kids alone, man. All right. He ain't gonna be a sorry ass nigga over here. He's gonna take care of his kids. He's gonna enjoy his kids, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. When you get one of your hundreds of wives pregnant, you're not gonna be like, damn, she's pregnant. What I'm gonna do?
Thousands.
Con.
So, and being a little chastened, they shall be greatly rewarded. For the Most High approved them and found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace has he tried them and received them as a burnt offering. In time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among stubble.
Immortal sovereigns, man. Having spiritual power, running through the heathen. Just making speedy riddance to them, man. All of the technology that they've received, all of these so-called, weapons that they have, Israel is going to become the weapon. We're going to be a battle axe and weapon of war of Yahweh. There's nothing the heathen can do about that. You can't kill a man of the Lord. In that day, we're going to laugh. Your magic is weak. You're going to laugh at bullets. Drones are going to get just thrown in the smithereens, man.
You got a little more. It says, they shall judge nations.
They shall judge nations. All right? Again, going back to Psalms 82, we're going to inherit the nations. All of these heathen, these Edomites, so-called white people, these Moabites, so-called Chinese, all right, Ishmaelites, damn Arabs, we're going to inherit you. We're going to own you as a possession.
It says, they shall judge nations and shall have dominion over the people. And their Lord shall reign forever. All right? And they shall put their trust in him. All right? Shall understand the truth and shall as be faithful in love, shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he had care for his elect.
God, he have care for his elect. Let me get this word sovereign, because the brother just read we're going to have dominion over the nations.
Oh, I got one more. It says, but the unrighteous, my bad, but the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord.
Yeah, all of you that's forsaken the Lord, you're going to die here. All right, the Lord said in Ezekiel, he's going to leave you here and melt you. And before that, all right, you're going to have to go through Jacob's trouble, the famines, the race wars, all of these plagues that are prescribed in the scriptures. You're going to have to deal with that. 2/3 are going to have to eat the prophecies. But this is that word sovereign. It's late 13th century. Sovereign, superior, ruler,
Supremacy.
master, sovereign Lord, ruler. highest, supreme, chief, a king who exercises dominion over people, recognized, a recognized supreme ruler of a realm. Right, and that realm is going to be the kingdom of heaven. So the 12 tribes of Israel, starting with the 144,000, they're going to be sovereign, and they're also going to be immortal. A king that cannot die. All right, yeah. King Solomon had sovereignty, but he was mortal. And so when you read Ecclesiastes, he was like, man, what good is it having all this wealth? I could pass it down to my son. My son's going to be a degenerate and go off and destroy everything I built. In the kingdom, you're not even going to have that thought. We're not going to have to leave our wealth to a son and wonder whether or not he's going to be righteous. All our people are going to be righteous. And we're not going to die, so we're not going to have to pass anything on. They're just going to have their own land. Their sons are going to have theirs forever, man.
Wealth, man.
Yeah, innumerable.
All right, wealth beyond wealth. I ain't talking about the FRN notes, man. That's going to be a thing of the past, man.
Yeah.
We're going to have gold, silver, cattle, land, all right, resources, all right, slaves, beyond slaves, man.
Souls of men.
All right?
Everything that Babylon has on the left-hand side, we're going to have on the right-hand side and more. Things we can't even fathom. Food that we've never eaten before.
Colors we never saw.
God, music we never heard. Jake, love inventing. Jake, you think Jake is finished creating instruments? What do you hear? You hear drums, piano, guitar, horn, harp. You hear like 5, 6 instruments nowadays. Man, there's going to be thousands of instruments in the kingdom. The beats are going to be crazy.
We innovative in hell. How much more in our world?
Yeah.
We're in heaven.
Yeah.
Jacob make music, different things, you know, 2/3. Like they're creative in hell.
And it's his vein.
Yeah.
Half the song when nigga was made, it was hot.
Yeah.
some wicked left hand shit.
Yeah, bro.
Jacob's gonna be in his right mind.
Yeah.
Imagine Jimi Hendrix in his right mind. Yeah. And they have Edomites that still give that guy praise to this day on the different tunes he can play on a guitar that'll blow your mind, man. Yeah. All right? It's gonna be elite of the elite type of talent and blessings that we're gonna get, man.
Yeah, and everything Jake creates here is on a limited timetable. Because Jake making all these hits in their basement, then they got to get up and go to work. In the kingdom, you're not gonna have to go to work. You if you're creative, you just get to create. You don't have a time limit. Okay, I gotta wrap this up. You take your time, man.
You know how I know this shit trash too? The music, because you don't even remember it. Yeah. A nigga make a song a day, play the day through the week, and then you forgot about it. We still them old songs from them Jakes from the '70s, the Isaac Brothers, Earth, Wind and Fire. You still remember that shit? It comes on and it brings you back because it was done with instruments. Yeah. It was done with particular care, man. And certain hertz, you know. I think I forgot the year that these elites they changed the hertz. They changed the hertz that is played through the records, man, to distort the mind. Yeah. Right? That's prior before the instruments. They start having these fucking computers do everything, man. Right? But hey, man, you go back to these scriptures, especially in the Old Testament. Our people play instruments. They play horns and cymbals, harps. That's how you know that these people here in New Orleans are the same people because they celebrated that. That wasn't a bad thing. It knew what that was, man. All right, and it's coming back. We're gonna play harps. We're gonna play instruments in the kingdom, man. Melodies, man. King David gonna sing again. All right.
Y'all gonna sing. Y'all gonna sing upon our bed.
Just saying, to back you up. It said when Saul, when Samuel was about to crown him king, Saul came across prophets and said they were playing horns and instruments as they were going about.
It would take the evil spirit away from them. But if all our people be righteous, then all it can do is enhance our spirit. Right. Think about it. It's still going to have an effect to us. It's just that, like you said, on earth, all right, we're in such a low vibration. And that was a part of them breaking us down. Because he know we're immortal beings. He had to what? He had to break us down from believing, having faith of things, or doing that, because that's how we tap in. Because really, righteousness is immortality. So once we started to come back to righteousness, this devil started panicking, man. Right? Once he started seeing us on the corners, like, oh no, they're going back to, he know the Lord was going to what? Take him out, man.
Get that revelation back to brother?
Yes.
Later.
Yeah, throw on your feet.
Yep. Gotcha. I was right.
You got the righteousness is immortality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, brother. This Wisdom of Solomon 1, I'm gonna start at 13 because you've been mentioning this. It says, for our power made not death. But he said, we gods and shall die like men. So is the Lord contradicting himself? No. All right. But because he said he's the God of what? The living. Because nothing around him is dead. All right. To die is actually the transition from this body. Your spirit returning to the Heavenly Father that gave it. All right. So there's nothing dead around the Lord. All right. It's all life. He breathes life. It says, God, for our power made not death, neither had he pleasure in the destruction of the living. For he created all things that they might have their being, and the generations of the world were healthy. And there is no poison of destruction in them, nor the kingdom of death upon the earth. For righteousness is immortality.
Righteousness is immortality. The commandments of the Most High lead to life. They bring forth, fruitfulness, man.
Yep.
Going back to those rivers in Genesis, man, wisdom just keep coming, and then that leads to more. What more life? All right, you have a son. Your son's righteous. That leads to more sons. They're righteous. All right, the increase of the field. When you use wisdom to till the land, it brings forth more fruit. Anytime you apply wisdom, you get a rapid multiplication. All right, when you apply sin, you get decay, you get death. That's why the society's so backwards.
You get disease, man. Right?
Yeah, when you have marriage laws and you do away with the marriage laws, you just have a bunch of fornication, which brings what? Disease. All right, you have economic laws. When you do away with that, you have a bunch of people that are broke as hell, miserable, which brings forth disease. All right, all of the commandments of the Bible lead to a sovereign kingdom that's running righteousness. And when you build a society that's on the opposite of that, that's based on iniquity, everybody's sick. They're either physically sick or spiritually sick or both in many cases. You're just sick of this place. You're sick of your neighbors.
Dying.
Yeah, just done.
Every goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Righteousness brings life. It
Yeah.
springs life.
God.
That's what's going to have to spring us to immortality. That's why we had to start here. Right? Immortality is a build-up. The Lord wasn't just going to make us immortals. We had to learn evil, learn how to judge wickedness, leave off sin, repentance, all right? And also other things, suffer affliction. All those things come set up the whole bar, righteousness to finish our faith, man. This is the last one right here. This Isaiah 57 and 1 and 2. It says, the righteous perisheth, and no man led to heart. And merciful men are taken away, none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. He shall enter into peace. They shall rest in their beds, each one walking in his uprightness, man. Yeah. So to walk in your uprightness, all right, as a man of the Lord, that means you're gonna be in peace. All right. And when you're in peace, we're also gonna be in authority. All right. The authority was given unto the key of David, represents the authority that the thrones of David gonna have, man. Which is what? The elect. Who gonna what? Control the thrones. Who gonna rule the nations, man? Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, because you can't have peace without authority.
Can't.
How can you rest knowing the so-called white man is free to do whatever he wants, man? If the wicked is free to do what they want, how can you have peace? How can your children go out and play if there's predators driving around, man?
Every goddamn way.
Everywhere. You have a society where children are just abducted and taken to an island somewhere, and people don't even care. They're like, well, who's playing in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Who's doing the halftime show? It's 100,000 kids that went missing last month. You worried about who planted this place has to be destroyed with missiles, man.
And all the information came out about how they've been doing even more trafficking. All right, and a lot of they found out that a lot of the school pictures that you take of your kids each year, the same guy that's over that company that take a picture of your kids, they pose up there. You know how we used to take a picture with the ladder?
Yeah.
It's 1996 and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Well, that guy that was over that he was associated with Jeffrey, and they were scouting kids all throughout the country. Cause you notice, I forgot they were saying how they would take those pictures. You would get those pictures, but then it was something about them. It didn't make no sense how they took the pictures and sending them to your house or something like that. Something didn't make sense. It was a full blown. It was scouting.
That's crazy.
You know.
Children are a prey in this society. Any of you jakes that want this place to continue, you're not right in the head. You're not ready to rule. You're not ready to be sovereign. And really, you love death.
Right, because like I say, and the reason why the so-called white man has Namla and has a lot of this other dark demonic shit out here, because he said the most the top peers, what is the peers
Oh yeah, that madness.
the
boys-
purest form of purity is the anus of a little boy, man.
which is crazy.
You know?
But this is who's ruling right now: a pervert, a weirdo, a sodomite, and you people want this place to continue, which is another reason you got to go. All right, we're made in the image of the heavenly again, which means we're made to be not only immortal but immortally righteous. And you can't have immortality with wickedness. You can't be immortal and then you going off. No, that leads to death. That's why the Lord had to purify us first through His Word. After we come back to this Word through Yahweh Shai, that's when you're ready to be made a sovereign. The Lord's not about to give creation over to a bunch of Edomites and then bring them down and then put a bunch of niggas in charge, man.
Bunch of Hancocks.
Yeah, a bunch of drunk niggas with superpowers, man.
Yeah.
We destroy the earth.
What a nigga gonna do with those spiritual powers? Trapping.
Yeah.
He gonna be a trapping nigga. He gonna find a way. I can sell all the keys with the spiritual power.
Yeah.
That's how a nigga think.
That's exactly how a nigga think.
You know? What sense of giving the spiritual power, the nigga gonna still commit adultery with it?
Yeah, more adultery.
Oh, like always, man, I'm about to go to war with God, but you know what I'm talking about, like the Kevin Gates nigga. I'm about to go to war with the Lord. That's how nigga always do that shit, man. Cause a nigga has a mentality where he don't know his position.
Yeah.
He can't play his position. Here it is, you my friend. I'm getting my hand dirty with this shit, but because you my friend, I'm giving you 250,000 off the muscle just because. All you gotta do is lay back, chill, and just be my wingman. Chill.
Yeah.
But what they do? I want that nigga position.
Yeah.
But you can't have a nigga in the place of with spiritual powers, man. Immortality.
Yeah.
They gonna fuck it up. We gonna be right back pissing the Lord off.
Yeah.
Right back in the captivity, man.
Going to slavery all over.
Oh, we get it,
If it
man.
was up to you niggas, we would just stay perpetually in slavery.
Yes.
That's why y'all got to die. 2/3 have to be cut off, and it's only fitting. All right. That's why in the ancient world, the Lord delivered the whole nation, and it was already written that we would go off. So that was part of prophecy. But here in these last days, the prophecy says what? 2/3 are going to be cut off and died, and the remnant is going to be made immortal. The purification is happening now through that baptism by fire. All right. You say you had another one? Oh, that was it. That was the second one.
Yeah, I got another. You okay?
Yeah, get that revelation real quick. Get that out there.
It's Revelation chapter 11. You want me to get straight to the point or start? Con. Revelation 11 and 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them.
Right, and that 3 days and a half is going into 350 years. All right, after that, the Holy Spirit is going to overtake these men. All right, the remnant of the nation of Israel, and this is going to happen.
And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Right, great fear fell upon these heathen that saw the nation of Israel rising up. All right, and when you read Wisdom of Solomon, it tells you when the righteous man stands in great boldness, these people are going to be terrified. Not these niggas, man. Yes, all right. The 12 tribes of Israel, you people of so-called Negro and Native Indian descent, the remnant of us, all right, that's who the Lord gave his wisdom to. That's who the Lord gave his breakdowns to. And according to Amos, that's who he gave his secrets to before he destroys this place. All right, surely he will do nothing, but he will reveal his secrets under his servants, the prophets. So if we have his secrets, what does that mean? We're his servants, the prophets. And these people can't take it. They've been taught their whole lives that, America is the land of the free, the home of the brave, apple pie and baseball. And this place is going to continue forever. No, this is Babylon the Great. The Lord has art with this place, and he's going to wipe it off the face of the earth. And everyone that gets delivered from that destruction is going to be part of the Lord's kingdom, all right? A righteous kingdom of immortality. You got it out.
Come on, this is Wisdom of Solomon. Lord. This is Wisdom of Solomon 6, and I'm gonna start at 18. It says, and love is the keeping of her laws, and the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. So the assurance of incorruption is immortality. All right, and immortality is basically you can't die. All right, we already got the victory. Yahweh Shah got the victory over death. Now we about to pass it also.
Yep.
And once we pass the victory over death, then the only thing lies behind that is life, brother. What else can you get once you done You didn't usurp that, man. You got it.
That's a beautiful point. All right, if you have the victory over death, the only thing you have to look forward to is life. And that's the spirit. That same chapter, 1 Corinthians 15, it tells you what? The corruptible must put on what?
Incorruption.
Read that again.
Yeah. And love is the keeping of her laws. Come on. Man. And the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption.
The giving heed to her laws is the assurance of incorruption.
Come on.
All right. Right now, the incorruptible is, it does not yet appear what we shall be. All right. But it's going to be known. In that day, then shall it be known who am I chosen. So right now we're corruptible. We covered in mixed garments, polyester mixed with cotton. You eating you don't know what you're eating, man. It's microplastics, GMOs. All right, we're very corruptible right now, but very soon we're going to be made completely pure.
And incorruption making us near unto the Most High.
There
he goes.
When you read Isaiah 59 or 58, our sins have separated us from our power. So repentance makes what? Us closer to our power.
Therefore, the desire of wisdom bring it to a kingdom.
The desire of wisdom bring it to a kingdom. And who desires wisdom? The remnant, the men of the Lord. All right, we're searching the scriptures, studying the mysteries, the prophecies, going back into the Hebrew, going back into our heritage. We have the understanding of the scriptures. So what? We desire a kingdom. All right, anybody who's, you have a lot of people that have a problem with this world, but they don't desire wisdom. They desire complaining. All right, I'm going to complain about the so-called white man, then I'm going to trust him, then I'm going to complain again. Okay, the police killed this nigga, let's complain about the police. All right, this Edomite, all right, killed this nigga on a boat, let's complain about these Edomites. Yeah, go picket, let's march, and then go right back to being fucking coons, man. We're not in the spirit of complaining about Edomites to Edomites so that they can apologize and say sorry. Here's a reparations check. No, we want immortality and sovereignty. That way we can have our way with these heathen. You're not supposed to beg a heathen to treat you like a human being, treat you like an equal. You're supposed to beg the Most High to give you power over your enemies. But Jake has completely lost the plot, man.
Yeah. You niggas don't understand that you're POWs, man.
Yeah.
You're prisoners of war. And this devil having his way, he can do whatever the hell he want, man. All right, you best believe that fucking guy out there in Ocean Springs, he know now. All right, trusting in the goddamn devil. All right, want to be a part of his system and want to be like unto the heathen. And what happened? The scripture tell you, man, if given opportunity, they will not be satisfied with blood, man. All right, he gonna off your ass, man.
Yeah. Hey, the elder made an excellent point, man. We're prisoners of war. All right, Jake don't even know that. When you go to school, these public schools, they don't teach you about the siege of Masada. They don't teach you that you were the Jews in 70 AD. They don't teach you that you fled into Africa and that you were taken into captivity because you're a prisoner of war. They don't teach you about the Roman Jewish wars, Tiberius and Hannibal. They don't teach you about any of that. All right, you're taught that your slavery began, on a plantation. You were just some nigga, with torn clothes, picking cotton. That's the beginning of your story. No, you were taken into captivity because you disobeyed your power and you were sold into slavery. You were a prisoner of war, Jake. You're behind enemy lines. That's why you're not considered a human being. That's why you loitering, you standing around is cause for you to be incarcerated. Oh yeah, we abolished slavery, except, the 13th Amendment says slavery is abolished except, if you commit a crime. Oh, by the way, loitering is a crime. So it's a crime for you to stand around. So we're going to lock you up. All right? You do something like that to a prisoner, to a slave, to a captive.
Right. Just like I was looking at some other shit, just like the marriage license.
Yeah.
A lot of you niggas, you fall suit under that marriage shit, all right, to these women. But the only reason why they said they created marriage license because Negroes was marrying white women. They wanted to have power and control over that, man.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, where in the Bible do you get a marriage license?
Yeah.
Where do you see a nigga getting on one knee, prostrating himself, bowing down to a woman? That's not in the scriptures. All right? The whole concept of marriage here is to make you in bondage to the damn state. Via a woman, man. That's the Most High didn't set that up. But Jake loved that. Jake loves the fashion of this world. Jake loved feminism. Jake loved nigger culture, trying to be a real nigga, which all of y'all are fake. And everything here is polluted. It's corruptible. So that's why the Lord has to set up an incorruptible kingdom.
You finish that?
Okay. Verse 22. If you delight, if your delight, which goes into your desire, be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore.
It says reign forevermore. When you have wisdom, you reign forevermore. All right. The Most High is the one who sets up and puts down. So in the past, he set up heathen. All right. These people have had temporary kingdoms. All right. Babylon, Greece, Rome, Persia, all right, Egypt. The Lord will set up people without wisdom to prove a point and taking them down. But his kingdom, the Lord's kingdom, the kingdom of heaven, that's going to be established on wisdom. So if you want to rule in an everlasting kingdom, the first thing you need to be consumed with is wisdom.
Hey, example was Solomon's.
God.
Solomon asked, he asked what he want. He asked for wisdom, and wisdom got him everything. Everything else, man.
Yeah. If you have wisdom, you get everything else, man. That's why Yahushua, which is Solomon, if you could receive it, he says, seek ye the kingdom first, and all these things will be added unto you. We have everything we need. When you come serve the Lord, things just start happening. All right. The first thing that's going to happen is you could get brought low. All right. You find out you're an Israelite. You start watching GMS videos. You might lose your job. Your family come against you. You might get sick, bump your toe, whatever. You know, all hell breaks loose. Yeah. Yeah. You lose your woman
off the rip.
Yeah. Right out the gate. But very slowly.
It's the end, brother. It's the end, brother.
Yeah. That's crazy. But
yeah, brother.
You lose everything, but you gain everything. All right. You lose your life in this world, but you gain life everlasting. You gain a real brotherhood. You gain actual wisdom, and then all of the things in this world become very minimal, and you get to navigate and move how you're supposed to move. The Lord gives you everything you need to serve Him. So the things that you think are a big deal in the world, suddenly they mean nothing. All right. Jake really don't care about economic collapse. These people in the world are panicking. They're like, man, my 401k. Got this many stocks, Google. They actually, their heart is invested in this place continuing, and it's mathematically impossible for this economy to continue. So their hope is in vain. Our hope is in America being destroyed, which is really inevitable. So every day that passes, the more prophecies that come to pass, our faith gets boosted. If you've been talking about World War III the past 10 years, and you click on the news, it's like, man, this is happening. It's like, yo. But if you've been preaching peace, no war is coming. Oh, those guys on the corner, they're crazy. Oh, GMS, they're fear mongers. They're war mongers. Don't listen to them. Well, I mean, your view of what's about to happen and reality are in direct conflict with one another. Our understanding with the prophecies lines up with current events. Is this the man? Which he's definitely in need of slavery, you know. These people, man. But yeah, so if your mind is in tune with the heavenly, every day that passes, you're seeing your faith get boosted, man. Everything we've been teaching is coming to pass.
Yeah.
Just to back up, if you desire crowns and scepters of rulership, desire wisdom first, and ultimately we're going to receive that on top of what? Immortality. This is Sirach chapter 19. I'm going to read verses 18. Oh, Khan. I'm going to jump to 22 to show, the opposite when you follow wickedness. The knowledge of the commandments of Yahweh is the doctrine of life. And they that do the things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. Verse 22, but for those that want to be a part of this world, the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. Because going into what you were saying, there are laws for economics, there's laws for marriage, there's laws for, cultivating the land. And when you do it according to the scriptures, life flourishes. But when you do it according to Esau in the knowledge of wickedness, everything is diseased, decayed, and dying out here.
Yeah, they had that video. I know you saw it. I think you might have been the one that sent it to me. The guy, he was trying to keep the land Sabbath in his little farm. He was growing a lemon.
I remember that one.
He was growing a lemon. He actually kept the commandment that deals with the land Sabbath. So, he was following the commandments of the Most High, and the lemon that he grew was like a softball. It was a giant lemon. And that's just one example. All right, when you read in the scriptures, a cluster of grapes, 2 men had to carry a cluster of grapes. They were huge. All right.
It might have been the same guy too. He also started tithing to his church, according to the law.
And that was the same guy.
And as the brother was saying, the lemons, were the size of a softball. And if it can do that in the decayed state of the earth now, imagine when everything is working perfectly.
Con. And that's just one example. You had the other one where he had like a fish tank. It was dirty, and then they put one. Was it an oyster or a crawfish?
I think they put oysters in there,
Con.
clams, and
Con. The fish that are unclean for us to eat, when you put them in dirty water, the water gets purified. You can see straight through it. Now, what happens when you take thousands upon thousands of tons of bottom feeders out of the ocean every day? You get dirty water, right? Which that's what these heathen do. And Jake, our people, especially down here in New Orleans, Jake loved to eat bottom feeders. Everything that the Lord specifically said not to eat is a delicacy here. And you can't tell Jake nothing, man. Jake really believes that the Lord went up on the cross for you to eat gumbo. Like, this is how a nigga thinks. All right, I got the sausage, I got the crawfish, got the crab. This is good eating, man. That's slave food. Lobster is slave food. This is garbage that was fed to our people because we were seen as animals. But today, that's Jake's favorite food, man.
That's actually, there's a historical context for that. Poor people
Yeah.
literally used to eat lobster.
Yeah.
But then, the elites took it and made it a rich man's food. I got one to back you up to what you were saying. This is Romans chapter 8. There's a lot of me going into everything. Let me see. I started verse 15. This is Romans 8 and 15. For ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High.
Going back to that adoption, when you read, again, 1 John 3 and 1, it says, Beloved, now are we the sons of the Most High. We're adopted back. And it does not yet appear what we shall be, but when Yahushua comes back, we're going to see him and be as he is. All right? What is he coming back as? As an immortal sovereign. So if we're going to be like him, what are we going to be? Immortal sovereigns. We're not going to die. We're not going to perish. We're not going to go off. We're going to have an everlasting dominion. That's why. Keep going on that.
And what was Yahushua called? The firstborn of death.
Con.
And what are the elect going to be? The firstborn of death, part 2.
Yeah, the first fruits.
But continuing. And if children, then heirs, heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Hamashiach. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us.
The glory that shall be revealed. So these sufferings can't compare to what's coming to us. Jay compared about, backaches, knee pain, brain fog, sinuses. Jake had small infirmities. Some brothers have more than others. But all of this pales in comparison to the glory that's going to be revealed in us, man. There's a glory our brains can't even fathom what's coming to us. We've been in Babylon so long. Jake get excited about 7 women. Well, Isaiah 4:1, brother, 7 women shall take hold of what? A king having 7 women that's nothing, man. That's not even a thing. Kings in the ancient world were not excited about having 7 women, man. That's not, what is that? 7 women? Come on, man.
Going back to y'all mentioning Solomon earlier, he was going through everything he had.
Yeah.
The women, he said, I saw my servants' children grow up in my house.
Yeah.
But it was all vanity because he knew what? That his kingdom would be lost, that Israel would go off. He was waiting for that eternal kingdom, as we're waiting for it.
Yeah, when you read about Solomon, man, that's, Yahushua said, what? One greater than Solomon is here. All of us, when you read the scriptures, as it tells you in that same book, in Romans, it tells you the things written aforetime were written for our learning. Every man of the Lord in the Bible represents some facet of this truth. All right, Job, he represents the afflictions that we will go through. All right, Ezekiel represents, the 12 tribes coming back together and, being disgusted at niggas. All right, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Nahum, Jonah. All right, these men were precursors to what we're going through today. And Solomon specifically, he represents a lot of the carnal opulence that we're going to have in the kingdom. But he also had wisdom. Like the elder said, the first thing he asked for was wisdom to rule his people. And then you look at what he had a live band in his house. He had servants. He had a navy. Just imagine having a navy. Like on the other side of the world, I want you to go bring me back some peacocks, some gold. That's
Apes.
yeah, apes. That's what's coming, man. We're not out here for no reason. We don't do these lessons for no reason. Jake really think because a lot of these false camps, you have Israelites that are trying to be social media stars. They're trying to be podcast prophets. We're not out here to receive views and start a GoFundMe. All right. Don't forget to hit the Patreon, like, share, subscribe.
Super
Man,
chat.
yeah, super chat. Man, fuck YouTube, man. The truth is going to be completely scrubbed from the internet, man. When the famine of the word hits, you're not going to have a super chat button. You're not going to be able to hit subscribe. All right, all of you cheerleaders, you're not going to be able to hit Kwame Yasharala in all caps. All right, there's going to come a point where your works and your faith are going to be all you're left with. And we're out here to receive a reward for doing those things, which comes with immortality and sovereignty. It doesn't come with being, a social media, Jake facing the thumbnail, Jake debating Ross Perot, Jake debating fucking Andrew Wilson, Jake debating Oprah. Like, this is crazy, man. Just preach the gospel, and the elect is going to be sealed, and this place is going to be destroyed. It really is that simple, if you have faith. But I wanted to get this to back what you said. This, the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. So that's immortality and that's sovereignty. All right, it's not democracy. We're not going to vote for Yahushai. All right, we got to convince these people to vote this way, and the other candidates, they're going to try to convince. No, man, there's not going to be an election. All right, this is the election. All right, Yahushai has already been given the elect from the Father. We're watching the elect play out on the earth. It's not going to be a poll. All right, the primaries. Then there's going to be a runoff. Democracy is clearly stupid. If you're still voting in 2020, you bugged out, man.
Hey, that's another thing when you come to this. You see how stupid Esau's government is.
Yeah.
Because think about it for a second. So the greatest governing system in the world is where every 4 years you're going back and forth on issues. You never get anything done.
Yeah.
That's why these other countries, and they're heathens, so they don't matter anyway. Like say like a Putin or a Xi Jinping in China, they have a strong man leader. So that's why you see their countries advancing on everything, because the leader says what goes, and there's no going back and forth and I think we should do this, that. No, the leader said this, and that's what happens.
Yeah, this society is the exact opposite of an immortal sovereign. There's no immortality here. There's only death, and there's no sovereignty here. No one has actual power. Men don't have authority in their own homes. You live in a world where a woman can call the government to kick you out of your own house where you pay the bills. All right, I'm gonna just say he hit me, and then get a restraining order. Now your woman has another man sleeping in your bed. You don't have authority over your children. All right, you hit your children too hard. CPS steals your children. All right, the so-called politicians, they have no authority. All right, the House is blaming the president's blaming the Senate, the voters are blaming the politicians are blaming the voters. Oh, I couldn't pass that bill because y'all didn't vote for my man, so the Democrats run the House, so I couldn't pass this. No one takes responsibility. This is the opposite of sovereignty. All right, it's a bunch of degenerates that have no power, no authority, and they just point the finger at each other all day. Like the brother mentioned, nothing gets done in a democracy. Ever since I was a child, and I'm several score at this point. The past forever, every politician promises, look, we're gonna decrease our dependency on foreign oil. We're gonna use our own oil and get out the Middle East. Every presidential candidate has been saying that my entire life. And what happens every time they get elected? They're dependent on oil in the Middle East. America stays in the Middle East, man. There's no politician that's gonna withdraw America out of Iran, out of Iraq, Afghanistan. There's nothing they can do. All right. Every politician promises we're going to focus on education and home ownership. Home prices are through the roof. This new generation, they're not even thinking about buying houses. All right. Education is a joke. All right. This is the first, I believe it was this year. This is the first year that people graduating college are less employed than people who don't have degrees. That's how stupid this society is, man.
More debt.
Yeah, and more debt. You go to school to get in debt so that you could get a so-called high-paying job. Then you graduate and you can't get a job, but you're still in debt. What type of society is that? If the whole purpose of going to school is to make you upwardly mobile and more employable, If you can't get a job, you should get your money back. You got more than that Romans 8, though.
Con.
Yeah, it's a car with the circus music. Got to be stopped, man.
Maybe on a moped. Oh no, that's some really village car that's playing that music. But hey, just what you were saying, nothing gets done in democracy.
Yeah.
Nothing gets done in Esau's rulership in general. And going back to everything else, everything under this man's wicked rulership decays and dies, to where not only are we sighing and crying for the kingdom, but existence itself, whether it knows it or not, in the spirit, is crying out for the manifestation of the sons of God. But continuing, and by Romans 8:19, for the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of God.
God, again, that goes back to what? 1 John 3:1. Right? The manifestation of the sons of the Most High. To manifest to me means to make clear, to make plain. Right now, it does not yet appear we shall be. We're just, in the eyes of these people, we're just some niggas reading the Bible. All right, these people, these men, women, and children, the brothers and sisters that believe, they're just they're part of a cult. They're bugged out. They're whatever. People say all manner of wickedness about people who believe in the resurrection of Yahushua and the resurrection of the nation of Israel, but they don't. It does not yet appear what we should be. But we know that when Yahushua comes back, we're going to be in God mode, full-on immortal sovereigns. Yeah, more on that?
Three more verses.
Con.
For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope.
Right, we're subjected the same in hope. Right, to hope means to expect. Right, it's the Greek word elpis, which means to expect something good or to expect something bad. Now, if your hope is in immortality, if your hope is in Yahushua coming back, you have a righteous expectation. But if your hope is in Babylon continuing, if your hope is in democracy, again, give me Revelation 13:11, then you're going to be confounded, all right? Because hope deferred makes the heart sick. Come. Get that too.
Come.
If your hope is in some type of political solution from Babylon, you're going to be in a steady state of confusion and being confounded, because there's no solution that's going to come from democracy. It's intentionally set up to keep people at odds, to make sure nothing of progress ever happens. It's the exact opposite of sovereignty.
I just gotta say, was a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You think I'm gonna vote this party, I'm gonna vote that party. You're going back and forth every 4 years.
Every 4 years. Every 4 years. Completely unstable. Give me that Revelation first. Let me get that.
This Revelation 13 and what, 11?
Come.
It says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
2 horns as a lamb, man. All right, now at that time, the beast was the Roman Empire, and you had what? The plebeians and the patricians. You had one party that claimed to be about the common man, the poor working class, the good guy. Then you had the other party, oh, we're about the rich, we're about the elites. Knowing that the rich and the elites were controlling both parties. Now here on the other side of the earth, these devils created the same system, but instead of calling it the plebeians and the patricians, they call it the Republicans and Democrats. And you stupid ass people are still going for the okie doke. Oh, every 4 years, the reason everything's fucked up is because of Biden. Once we get Trump in there, all right, we got Trump in there. Okay, now we got to get a Democrat in there. Man, Obama, he messed up, but then, like, bro, every 4 years you're bugged out, man.
Obama and Bush showed you that you don't even need
The votes,
the votes,
the
man.
popular vote, yeah.
You don't even need the Constitution.
Yeah.
It showed you it's nothing more than a piece of paper, man, that can be thrown away. And Obama also, in his term, he signed over 120 plus executive orders, man, going over the Congress fucking head, man.
Yeah.
All right.
And to further show you how stupid people are,
Go ahead, them niggas fucking. You Northern Kingdom, man.
they were on the other side tripping.
All that, every time they see brothers doing something, they just turn the music up, you know?
That was them playing the music?
Yeah.
I thought they were
Under that fucking thing, man. Lord, set the niggas on fire, man.
Yeah, you know they can't remember a lot of hell coming to you, man.
They already getting it with Venezuela. The Lord stayed jacking up Venezuela.
But yeah, so when you have faith in democracy, and every 4 years you're completely out of your mind, man. This society has taught people that sovereignty is evil. All right, they refer to sovereign people as tyrants. You're tyrannical. You're evil. All right, if you're somebody that cares about your people and you'll do whatever, you're painted by this society as a maniac, a dictator,
madman.
Yeah, a dictator, a tyrant, a madman, a psycho. You're crazy. But these so-called tyrants and dictators actually care about their people, and they actually get things done. Because one thing that happens when you have sovereignty is you become responsible. If you're responsible for a realm, for an area, that means whatever happens, I'm either going to take care of this myself, or I'm going to delegate someone to take care of this. And if they don't take care of it, there's going to be consequences. Now, what happens in a democracy? You have people complaining about things for 50 years and nothing gets done. People are still going to school. The school system is set up the same way it was in the 1800s. Now, with all of this technology, all these so-called advancements that have been made, you still have a classroom with 30, 40 people sitting at a desk, a blackboard, somebody just boring you to death. In 2026, man. And people have been saying, look, we need to focus on this. We need to do this. We need to do that. Okay, we'll do it. Just vote for me. Okay, vote for this person to be over the school board. Vote for this person to be over city council. Vote for this person. And nothing ever happens, man. That's the opposite of sovereignty, all right? The Heavenly Father is sending back his son to set up a sovereign state where everything is going to be run smoothly and ordered, all right? King David is going to be over the 12. The 12 are going to be over the 144,000, and the 144,000 are going to be over the nation of Israel. And the nation of Israel is going to be over the heathen. Everything is going to go down, and everything is going to be ordered properly. You're not going to have just a pothole in the street for 30 years. With you right by, driving down Claiborne is like, what the?
Yeah, your suspension is getting murdered down here.
Yeah, but it's it's like,
oh no,
yeah, it's the same problems in New Orleans have been going on since we were like small children and before we were born. The same things, the same problems happen over and over again. Why? Because the so-called rulers and leaders here are not sovereign. They don't have any actual power. All right, they come into office and then they make deals with this corporation, that corporation. They sell out. Now they have to do what this corporation wants because they have receipts on these niggas, and nothing ever gets done. This is just one city. This is New Orleans. The same thing in New York, Houston, Detroit. All right, every ghetto, which ghetto means the dwelling place of the Jews. Everywhere that you tribes dwell, you're surrounded by incompetent leaders. So if you have a hope in this place, your hope is deferred. The brother's gonna get it. I'll get it.
If I can say real quick what you mentioned about, when you have a sovereign leader, they have more of an invested interest in their kingdom or rulership. What's
Right.
the same Proverbs? Even the king is nourished by the field.
Mm-hmm.
If the king doesn't take care of his subjects that work the field, what? The king's not going to eat. So the king has a vested interest in every facet of his kingdom because it all ultimately comes back and benefits him. And through his wise judgments and actions, it benefits the people. And it's a loop, a positive feedback.
That's a beautiful point. And we were saying earlier that the Lord, he gives his servants everything that we need to serve him. All right. Now that's on a spiritual level and a carnal level. Brothers have certain jobs. Brothers, we need money to have internet, to upload videos. We need money to buy gas, to make it to camp. Obviously, the Lord is going to provide us what we need to serve him. And Esau's such a devil. He wants everybody to be broke, and he milks everybody dry, and then he complains about his economy. What you set up society in which people can't even afford to buy houses, and then you complain about the housing market. All right, you manipulate the price of gold, the price of gas, the price of everything. People can't afford to buy what they would like to buy, and then you complain about the economy. The economy requires consumers. You have a capitalist society, but everybody's too broke to buy anything. This shows you how stupid this man is. All right, you have a society that's set upon a thriving middle class that's growing, and then nobody can afford to buy goods and services. Then you have a Social Security which requires a much larger young population to take care of the old. But then you have the government set up to where the birth rate is declining. What sense does that make? How you create a society where men and women are against each other. Women don't want to have children because they can't afford to. Men don't want to get married because they can't afford to. But then you don't have enough young people to put into Social Security. That's pure madness and confusion.
And you push feminism and liberation to where women don't want to have families. They want to get in the workforce, and by the time they're ready to have families, they're worn out, they're used up, and nobody wants them.
Yeah, you ran through with 3 eggs. Now you're talking about how you want to have 1 child. You can't have a society where women spend their most fertile years
That's his glory.
Yeah, that's his way. He received this consolation. But you can't have a society where women spend their most fertile years in a classroom, in an office, and just in a club, just sitting around bleeding for 20 years. Then they pop up talking about why can't I find a good man? That's bugged out, man. A proper society is not supposed to be ordered like that. All right, you have no replacement rate for your own nation. You Edomites, you can't even reproduce at 2 people a family. You got a man and a woman. You need at least at minimum 2 people to replace the parents. But these Edomites have like 0.7 kids per couple, man. That's crazy.
What is 0.7? I said like a half a kid.
That's like a torso and some legs, man.
Hey, and another thing too, you complain about, your declining birth rates, but you put stuff in the food that kills the motility of men's sperm.
Yeah, you got this device right here, which everyone loves, everyone's addicted to. You put it in your pocket, and it reduces not only the quality but the quantity of your sperm. All right, everything, the 4G, 5G, everything is poison. But people complain. We're complaining to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We're not complaining to Edomites to fix their kingdom so they could put a more efficient hell on us. We're complaining to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to take this man out of power. But this is Proverbs 13 and 12. It says, hope deferred maketh the heart sick, but when the desire cometh, it is a tree of life. Right? And hope deferred, if you have hope in democracy, you're going to be sick. At some point, you're just going to get frustrated. You're going to give up. You're going to become a vigilante YN killer. All right. You're gonna
become Charles Bronson.
Yeah, you're gonna become Charles Bronson, because in this society, once you realize that there's no justice, you're either gonna do 2 things. You're gonna cuck out, or you're gonna take matters into your own hands. All right. The Lord gave his men a refuge in hell. All right. We have this knowledge in earthen vessels, and we have peace. All right. We're at peace because we know there's an end. There's an end to Babylon the Great. No matter what happens, the Lord is going to destroy this place and set his elect on high. These people that don't have the truth, bro, imagine knowing what we know, but you don't believe in Yahweh Shai. You're just like, what do you do with that information?
With your boy Marshall, you just threw out there.
You're just staring to the abyss until the abyss is staring back at you.
You're doing a 12-hour live stream where all you're doing is sitting in front of the camera on your couch.
Yeah. Which that's what a lot of these people are doing. They're just bugging out on social media, and then other bug outs are watching them like, yeah, man, I'm going through it too. My sister, she's got a black boyfriend. She's getting blacked.
My mom too.
Yeah, Sharon Stone.
With the country trapper.
Yeah. So if you're an Edomite and you know that the elites are a bunch of pedophiles, they're a bunch of Amalekite, and you're a Jake, and you know that your people are just perpetually like, there's nothing they could do. The police can have their way with you. All right. If you don't have this truth, you're gonna bug out at some point. But the Lord, our hope is not deferred. The Lord gave us signs, prophecies to watch out for, and the more we watch, the more we're like, wait a minute, the Lord's close. Our salvation is nearer than what we believe. So as the world gets worse and worse and worse, our spirit gets more and more elated. We're more, this is it. Every year is like, this feels like the last Passover. Our spirit's actually renewed day by day. That's if you're watching the prophecies. All right, for you niggas that are you just know you're an Israelite and that's it. That's good enough for you. A lot of you are about to die.
What the end of that verse say? Hope deferred maketh the heart sick, but when the desire cometh, it bringeth immortality. That's what we're waiting. Our desire is the kingdom, and with the kingdom and the salvation comes immortality. So, as the brother's been going into, whenever I hear bad news, I get in such a good mood because I know that's just one day closer to the salvation.
Those World War II headlines, it's like in World War III headlines are just like, man, this is it.
Like they really going for it.
They fucking with Iran. Yo, America fucking with Iran. That's it. There's no coming back from that. All right. Iran, Russia, and China are gonna wipe this place off the face of the earth. We're that close to it happening. And what? That prophecy coincides with Revelation 13 and 16. We see the blockchain technology. We see AI data centers, sucking up all the water. We see this company, that company ordering 1 million C-HIPs, that company ordering another. Like this is happening.
Apple investing $30 billion in microchips.
Yeah, that's something that, if you're watching the prophecies, this is great news, right? But if you're somebody saying, oh, Revelation 13 and 16, that's talking about sin. That's talking about having sex with white women.
Embargo.
Yeah, an embargo. He calls it all. That just means an embargo. You people are bugged out, man. You really think you could take the Bible and make it mean what you want to mean? All right, you have a private interpretation, but what? Your hope is deferred because what you're saying is going to happen. There's no evidence that that's happening. There's no system being set up where you're going to buy and sell based on sin. That's a figment of your imagination. There's no system being set up to where, prisoners, people on the outside, everybody's going to have to buy and sell because of this nigga's breakdown, man. That's you people think you could just make the Bible mean what you want it to mean to push your own agenda so that you can have some type of status here. But the Lord's not dealing with us having status here. All right, he's dealing with his word being magnified and this place being destroyed. We're going to get ours in the kingdom.
You got it.
Matthew 11 and 25. And that time Yahushua answered and said, I thank thee, O Yahweh, heaven of Father, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes.
Yeah, when you read Corinthians, this truth is not given to many mighty men, all right, people of this world, so-called these people, these pundits, celebrities, athletes, the people that this world looks up to, they don't have this truth. The Lord gave it to the meek so that he could be glorified, so that his name could be magnified. If the Lord gave the truth to LeBron James, everybody would follow because it's LeBron James. They wouldn't follow because of Yahushua. The Lord gave it to men, just average, truck drivers, plumbers, salesmen. It's just random, so-called, what this world would call random niggas. But that's who he gave his mysteries to.
Blue collar, working class,
yeah.
Bottom of the society.
Yeah. First fired, last hired niggas, man. In the eyes of you people. But in the eyes of the Father, hey, we're the apple of his eye. All right, we may not look like much to you people. Matter of fact, you might have to get that. It keeps coming up, that 1 John 3.
I was what I was holding.
Okay.
But hey, to back you up too, what the brother brought out, if that, say that wisdom was given to the people of this world, the higher up people, they've got their riches. So this wisdom would be a burden unto them.
Yeah.
So all this work I did, selling my colon out, I gotta give all that. I did all this for nothing. Yeah. All this riches and status, I did all this for nothing. So that's why the Lord does. Now you do, you have people that know and you have secret disciples and whatnot. But for the majority of them that hear this word, Nick Cannon, a perfect example. For literally 24 hours, Amalek got on his ass, and then he just completely broke down and bent over.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar, he put out that song, I'm not black no more, I'm an Israelite. And the nigga disappeared for like 3 years, man.
Kanye.
Yeah, Kanye. I'm from the 12 tribes of Judah, which that nigga knows better, man.
I am Jew.
Yeah. Jake talking about swastikas. Man, you Jakes, man, y'all play too much, man.
Now they what the KKK, Kendrick,
Kanye,
Kodak,
and bugged out, man. Completely finished. But the Lord, like the precept that the brother just brought out, the Lord doesn't want this truth to be revealed to people that are ultimately carnal. All right, he gave this truth to men that are able to put off this world, forsake all, your family, jobs, whatever. Not many men can do that, especially a so-called celebrity. That's very difficult. Like, if you have a job that's paying you $40,000 a year and it's getting in the way of the truth, it's easy to just, okay, I'll just find some other job. But if you have $20 million endorsements, you're a celebrity, millions of people are looking at you, it's very difficult for you to be like, man, fuck all this. I'm going to follow Yahushua. That's not something that really anyone's done. All right. Like the brother said, you have secret disciples that, brothers that have money and they contribute behind the scenes, but you're not going to have a celebrity come out and say, this is the truth. This is the 12 tribes of Israel. He's got the fringes. That's not going to happen, man, because people will follow for the wrong reasons. They wouldn't really be following Yahushua. They'd be following their favorite celebrity.
I got that the 1 John. This is 1 John chapter 3, start at verse 1. Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God.
That adoption. There it is again. Right? When you read Romans 9, the adoption pertaineth to who? The Israelites according to the flesh.
That we should be called the sons of God. Therefore, the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not.
Right. The world doesn't know us. The world doesn't know the Lord. So if you don't know the Lord, how are you going to know the servants of the Lord? These people actually think the Lord's name is Jesus. They think he's a so-called white man that looks like John Bon Jovi with a little facial hair. These people are bugged out of their minds, man.
And going back to what the brother brought out, he's revealed it unto babes, and nobody knows us. We're looked at as just average Joe out here.
Niggas with Bibles. That's, you might as well say it. That's what these people see.
I got more. Oh, we hear it all the time. I got more money than you.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a contract with the government. I
get jet fuel for 25 cents.
Man, Jake really wants to be somebody next to Jake. Jake never stunts on Amalek. Jake don't stunt on Esau. Jake don't even stunt on Ishmael. Ishmael's a dirty camel leader, but Jake wants to stunt on people that look like him. I have more. I don't have anything, but at least I have more than this nigga. That's the hope of a Negro.
Hey, there's no reputation if you're always beating up people you're stronger than.
Yeah.
Like the only people that, when you box up.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing spiritually. We're boxing up to this devil, you know, as it says in Isaiah 13, going into the gates of the nobles, telling you you're a piece of shit PDF file.
Yeah.
You know, you're going down, you're worthless, and you know, you 2/3 are going down with them. Simple as that.
Yeah, we're talking to trillionaires, all right? When we go in on prophecy, you know, these everyday Edomites, they're two-time losers, all right? If you live next to Negroes, you're a loser. All right? If you're a so-called white man and you live in the same zip code as so-called black people, you're a loser. You fail, all right? You're a loser in this kingdom, and you best believe you're going to be a loser in our kingdom. We're not even talking to y'all. We're telling these elites that they're going into slavery. We're looking these Edomites, these trillionaires, directly in the eye and telling them that the Lord is coming back and we're going to destroy you.
They're watching the videos too.
Yeah, they watch the apostles heavy. All right, they're looking. What is that? Many shekel.
Many tekel upharsin.
Khan. Yeah, you've been weighed in balance, man. You've been found wanting. It's over for you.
And it says in Jeremiah 52, the king of Babylon hath heard their report, and he was in pangs as a woman.
Khan.
I'll never forget. You know, Trump's a low level. He's low level compared to the elites, but I think it was during the George Floyd protests. A brother posted in our chat a tweet he did during his first administration. Well, I bet the black Hebrew Israelites are happy to see us tearing ourselves apart. I shit you not. I went to go save it. Literally 20 seconds later, it was scrubbed from the internet. Never seen it since. Yeah. So if Nero's watching, you best believe, you know, Rothschild watching, Rockefeller, even the ones we don't know of are watching.
Yeah. These elites have our records, man. All right, you have the Vatican that has a lot of our records. You have these museums that have a lot of our records. Best believe they know who we are. They know what's going on, and they know they have to go into slavery. So what's wrong with Jake, man?
But this is verse 2. Beloved, now are we the sons of the Most High, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is.
We shall see him as he is, and we shall be like him. And again, what is the Lord like? He's an immortal sovereign. All right, if you can give me Revelation 2, start at 25, Baba Bashar.
Con. You gonna get that word too in
there? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Con. About to say it's almost apostasy if you don't go that word back.
Yes, brother.
But it's in red letters, and it's in the last book of the Bible.
Yeah.
For you Christians that only believe in the New Testament and that Jesus came for everybody, is Revelation 2 and 25. But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come.
Right, and what do we have already? First and foremost, we have the name of the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Secondly, we have the will of the Lord, the understanding of the mysteries and the prophecies. We have the law, statutes, and commandments. We have our heritage back. We have wisdom. All right, wisdom leads to immortality, and the Lord gave us wisdom. He says, hold fast until I what?
Till I come.
So he's coming back.
The faith and the patience of the saints.
God.
Or the patience go into suffering.
Suffering.
And he that overcometh. Oh, con. Verse 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end. To him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with the rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father.
Well, let's get this word power. My favorite Greek word, Strong's G, 1849, exousia. Now the Lord said to them that hold fast until I come, to them will I give power over the nations. This is what we're going to have. Exousia. It says power of choice, liberty of doing as one pleases. It says physical and mental power, the ability or strength with which one is endowed, which he either possesses or exercises. It says the power of authority, the power of influence, the power of privilege, the power of rule or government, sovereignty, the power of him whose will and commands must be submitted to by others and obeyed.
You mentioned King Solomon having a navy before you. Abarat where that number. We're coming into the time to where you're just going to sit there and have one of your middle managers comes in. My lord, the ships have returned. You've received trillions in gold, in silver, and all that. We've got new everything, and Solomon had an earthly navy. I'll just say this: we're gonna have a galactic navy. Think about that.
I mean, the scriptures tell you that every man of the Lord is gonna have a chariot over his house. The chariots don't just go to the Philippines, man.
We're gonna be just passport folks in the kingdom. Passport prophets.
Passport kings, man. No, man. The chariots go everywhere, man. They go to other planets. All right, that's what's coming. It says the power or rule of government, the power of him whose will and commands must be submitted to by others and obeyed. It says the authority to manage domestic affairs, a thing subject to authority or rule, one who possesses authority, again, sovereignty, a ruler, a supreme being. All right. It says a human magistrate, the leading and more powerful among created beings, superior to man.
Not waking up at 6 in the morning, not clocking in, not having to rush on a 30-minute lunch break.
Yeah, that the fashion of this world is passing away. If you're in the spirit of, I need to get a raise, I need to get a $2 raise, all right, I need to put more in my 401k, so 20 years from now, instead of this amount, I'll have that amount. You're bugged out of your mind, man.
You're a cuck.
Yeah.
If you want to live in another man's kingdom, you're a cuck.
Yeah. You want another man telling your woman when she could shit, all right? Your wife has a job where her manager tells her when she could take a bathroom break, man.
That's when she can eat.
Yeah, when she can eat. Oh, your lunch, you're supposed to take 45 minutes for lunch. You took 47 minutes. I'm gonna write you up.
You gotta come, pretty much, you gotta come to my house at this time. You're gonna stay here until I tell you to go.
That's madness, man. How are you comfortable in a society where your woman has to answer to another man? Then some of you niggas are so cucked out, your wife has a job and she goes to church. So she listens to her boss and she listens to her pastor, but then she'll come home and tell you, I don't have to listen to you. That's bugged out, man. But Jake want to stay here. Throw it out, man. Throw it off and throw it out. But it says the leading and more powerful among created beings, superior to man. It says the sign of the husband's authority over his wife.
Hey, it's the spirit.
It's the spirit, man. Which Jake don't have that here. Again, you live in a society where your woman can call the police.
Ain't even your woman.
Yeah, it's not
Let's
even
just
your woman.
cut it straight.
Yeah,
that's not your woman.
It's not your woman. All right. It's adultery. You popping another man's woman, calling that your wife, but you don't have authority in your own home over your own children, man. How does that not bother you? That's something I think about all the time, man. Jake don't even think about it. Jake thinks it's normal to be a co-parent.
A nigga you got to get a birth certificate for your child so another nigga knows that that's your child and that kid exists.
But you still got to talk to the nigga and debate. Okay, I'm gonna pick him up Thursdays and Tuesdays. You pick him up Wednesdays and Fridays. You
only see him on the weekends.
Yeah, it's your son. You got another nigga living with your woman telling you when you can see your own child, and they call that co-parenting. Co-parenting is cuck parenting. That's all that is, man. Jake cucked out, man. It says a sign of the husband's authority over his wife. It says the veil with which proprietary required a woman to cover herself, a sign of regal authority, a crown. A crown, man. That's what's coming to the elect. Crowns. All right, when you read 2nd Esdras, Yahushua, a man with stature more than the rest, are going to place crowns on the heads of the 144,000. That comes with what? immortality, and sovereignty. If Yahushua is crowning you, if the Most High's only begotten Son is putting a crown on your head saying, son, well done, like that's it.
The first creation.
Yes.
The man is telling you good job.
The Alpha and Omega is putting a crown on your head telling you job well done. That it's a wrap after that, man.
And then he gives you a cup of that wine afterwards.
Man. Yo. And you get the scepter,
Mm-hmm.
go upside the heathens' heads, man. Man, if you want anything other than that, you're a cuck. It is what it is. You either a man of the Lord or a cuck at this point. All right, there's no in between. You can't say, well, I'm a righteous man. You know, I don't believe in that Bible, but I believe in a higher power. Shut the fuck up, man.
No, you got.
You niggas gotta die, man. All right, if you don't want immortality, sovereignty, thousands of women, all right, just the knowledge of how everything works, it's over for you, man. All right, the Lord said his apostles last. There's no doctrine that's coming after this. All you FBA niggas, you woke niggas, you Ankh rocking niggas, it's over for y'all, man.
I think about this sometimes. Like in the kingdom, you're gonna have a six pack. You're gonna be a trillionaire Superman.
Yeah.
What's better than that? You got superpowers and you're rich beyond your imagination.
Yeah. You're never gonna hear no.
That's something. Never hear no ever again for eternity.
Never being told no.
All we know in this life, all Jake knows in this life is no.
Yeah.
It's so bad on this side, Ark, that whenever something does go your way, you're surprised.
Yeah,
it's like I expected this to not go my way
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. Then you gotta double check. Like, man, is this gift from Satan? Like, is the Lord trying to throw me out of the truth? If things go too well in this society, yeah.
Wait a second.
Yeah, you gotta question winning in this society. All right, Jake is so downtrodden. You gotta question when things go well. In the kingdom, everything's gonna go smoothly. You're gonna always have your way, and it's gonna be expected. You're never gonna hear no from a heathen, from a woman, even from brothers, man. Yeah, can you make me one of those stones? Like I need it by next week. Yeah, I got you. What's time to an immortal? But yeah,
I got one more.
come.
It has to come out on.
Come.
That's Zechariah 12.
Yes, brother.
This is Zechariah 12 and 12 and 8. In that day shall Yahweh defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, the water. And the house of David, the elect, the 144,000, shall be as God, as the angel of Yahweh before them.
The house of David, the 144,000 are going to be as the Most High. We're going to be the Lord's reflection on earth. All right. Now, right now, we are that already, but it does not yet appear we shall be. The rest of these people, again, they just see niggas with Bibles. We know in the spirit that we're immortal sovereigns. All right. We're men whose spirits can't die. We have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the heavens. And very soon, our big brother is going to come back to make that a physical manifestation. And it's game over for you heathen. Game over. That's it, man.
Game over, Red Boy.
John, it's over for you Edomites and you Ishmaelites and the rest of you goddamn heathen. All right? And especially you black women. It's over for y'all too. Y'all could feel it.
It's been over for nobody. It just.
Yeah, but with that, get another con. So with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the elect. We have immortality and sovereignty to look forward to. All right, so with that, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakudash.
double lines to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the whole full elect.
Shalom.
Ababa Ball.
Ababa Ball.
Ababa Ball.
Ababa Ball.
Ababa Ball.
Ababa Ball.
Kwame Yasharala.
Kwame Yasharala.
Shalom.
Shalom.